Sure. I mean, obviously, it's great to have the 3 days here and you know, get the players all together, and I think it just kept growing. I think today was guys anxious to fly over to Europe, but again, for us, it was productive 3 days to get them acquainted with the coaching staff and to start to get some identity and leadership in that.
Is there something you would like to see in Helsinki that you didn't see here?
No, I'd like to continue the compete level. I thought the compete level here was great, and I think it was also in the right way. And I think that's the kind of, we have to play. You have to play hard, clean hockey. And I thought yesterday's both practices were hard, clean hockey, and it was great. And you can only push that so far in practices here, but and then they're going to get the games. So I think that's what we'll look for in the 2 games in Helsinki.
Jim, how important is it to have players such as Cole Baudreau and Ryan Hartmans? How big is it in a tournament, this type of tournament?
Yeah, they're vital. I mean, in the end, you see what happens in the tournaments. That you need the guys that can play the hard minutes and versatile players. And you know, certain guys are going to have to score for us, and the guys you mentioned there are guys that they're going to have to be hard to play against. But again, we feel confident that they're the kind of players that do it the right way, especially with the international game and the big ice, and are capable of doing that.
How about Rocco Grimaldi, and how his skill set will translate to the big ice?
It's been excellent. His track record, I mean, for us internationally speaks for itself. You know, obviously we look at Rocco and Johnny Gaudreau and say that there's guys that have created offense every place they played, and the expectation of the tournament is that they're going to be able to generate offense.
Any other questions for JJ?
Yeah, I got one. The undersized defensemen, you got like 3 of these great decision makers, playmakers. Is there room for 3 of those in terms of your role?
I think there can be.
Yeah.
Yet it's great to have the option that's not all that we have. I mean, we got big and strong back there too. So I mean, it's going to be a hard decision on defense. And again, hopefully the games over in Helsinki help sort that out for the coaches and for the players. I mean, you want all the players to play well and continue to make it a hard decision for the coaches, and it really comes down to, you know, a little bit of the gut feeling on who they think can do what role within and maybe who pairs up better with other guys.
Jim, obviously the players here deserve to be here, but was there anyone that kind of elevated their status from what you and Timmy were watching upstairs? Any player?
In the short window here, I wouldn't say so. But I mean, it's almost like there was a reaffirmation on why the guys were here. So I think we viewed it more that way, and more talk to the coaches about, you know, in the end we have to go over to Finland and get the team prepared to play. This was part of it. We'll use the first game in Finland probably to make, you know, a lot of the hard evaluations.
Were you able to get line combinations ready for the 2 exhibition games?
I think partially, but I also think that's a working project, and I think some of that is we have to use at minimum the first game and maybe even part of the second game to put guys where we think they're going to be and evaluate. And it's a short window, but that's, you know, the players are prepared for that. I think the coaches are prepared for that, and you know it's tough to make the U.S. World Junior team, and this we're down to the bare bones here, and the guys know it, and it's a good thing, but it's also the hard part of hockey.
How important is it to have Timmy Taylor by your side during this process?
It's been huge for me. I mean, you know, he's the guy in the trench for me for the most part, seeing all these guys and seeing them in different settings, and I think he brings great feedback to the coaches on hey, this is how he's being used at his team. Maybe there's a strength to that, or you know, they're using him this way. It's not effective. I think we should be doing this with him. So I think you get both sides of it, and I think he's got the relationship with the coaches that there's some mentoring, but there's also a long history with that I think is well received.
Is that it? Thanks, guys.